Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Baka.
So guys.
It was like anticlimactic at the end, Chicken. You were just like, I'm Chicken.
I know.
I thought
right?
it was a dramatic pause.
It was. I was trying something different. I was like, it didn't start.
He was like, is he going to say Oak Tree before I say Chicken? Let's see what happens. How long can I pause?
He's spicing it up.
Right?
You gotta mix it up every now and then. Everyone's getting a little stir crazy being stuck at home.
So now Chicken's messing up my game, man. What's going on, bro? Why are you doing that?
It's gonna be someone's excitement for the week. He's like, oh my god, he took a second. Holy shit, I'm gonna be thinking about
You
that
mean
all
Ollie?
week. Yes.
What if it's one of those things where like you get a bad connection when you're listening to it? And it's like, hey, welcome to Infinite Respawn. And it's just a pause, and your just face is frozen, everything buffering.
They're like, did he do that on purpose? Yes, I did.
Oh my god.
Griff could just put a little buffer symbol in there now and spots it out just to mess with me. But what just happened?
Oh man.
You said it, poor Ollie. Oh, too funny. So what games everybody been playing?
I finished Borderlands with my sister. That last boss was a dick. But we
Took
did
an
it.
hour and a half, huh?
Yeah, it took quite a while. So we were
You almost had to play through it all the way completely so you could play with
I
her.
was so worried. One of my hard drives, the one that had my Steam library on it, just died this week. Well, it didn't die. It's apparently functional again. It just had to be completely repaired, and in the repair, it wiped everything off of it. So I was like, okay, how many of my Steam games are actually saved server side versus saved local? I
You
was
start
freaking
going
out.
through all your games.
I did. I was like, oh no, because I had the Borderlands run with my sister. I've got a Saints Row run that I've been doing with Foxy, so I needed to make sure that was still there, and those are both fine. I thought the tabletop stuff only saved local side, so I was worried that our D&D campaign was gone forever, but it's not. It's not. It's fine. It's fine. We're
Oh,
all
that's
good.
awesome.
Oh
It
man.
was saved on a different hard drive, luckily.
The only thing that I lost was my Sims 2, which is like 8 years worth of Sims 2 stuff, and that makes me a little sad. But I can start over. So.
Just another 8 years.
Yeah. But Borderlands was
It'll
fine.
go by quickly.
Got to finish it. We finished it last night, and then this coming Friday we are going to play Left 4 Dead. But I have introduced her to the mods for Left 4 Dead, so she's been looking through all of that stuff, and she wants stuff to make it less scary, because she's high anxiety, and the scary games are more scary for her than they are for some of the rest of us.
I can send her some to make the monsters and stuff like McDonald's.
I told her about
food.
that.
Yeah,
I did.
Like the tank is a Big Mac with fry arms. And
She saw that
stuff,
actually. She was looking through some of the like popular pages and whatnot.
To be fair, that's almost scary in a lot of more other ways.
Depending on who you are. But there is nothing funnier than the John Cena tank. Like, I don't care who you are, but as soon as that fucking song starts playing and you're like, oh shit, here he comes, and he just comes flying around the fucking corner.
Oh, I think I have He-Man. Don't I have He-Man? I think that's the one I have.
I think mine is Terry Crews, but the one that she liked was the Johnny Bravo one. Because it turns the tank into Johnny Bravo, and he says Johnny Bravo voice lines.
Oh my god.
I also found one the other day that makes the smoker into Goofy.
Yeah, I found that one too.
What?
I put it in my game last night.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
that.
apparently it's got voice lines. I can't wait. It's gonna be terrifying.
I
You know,
wanna do
like
that
in the
one, but-
distance, you hear like Goofy laughing on one side and Waluigi on the other. Like,
That'd be hilarious though. Like if you could get like an entire Disney crew that's in there. So like you have Mickey Mouse.
Then
and
they
she was
Yeah,
looking for
Donald.
Disney stuff. She found out that she can make some of her survivors into the cast of Frozen and things like that. Which Frozen's not her favorite,
What?
but yeah. But
Not,
she
not
found
mine either,
it,
but
so
still, what?
she started looking for Disney.
Can we make
stuff.
some of can we make some of the zombies the Frozen characters? Because I'd love to shoot them. I'm just saying, you know.
Thinking
Turn them
about it, though, I
all into
can't-
Olaf.
Oh, she did find one that turned the common infected into the magic brooms from Fantasia.
Wow.
So
I wonder
awesome.
if does it affect
I'm
their
gonna have
hitbox?
to
that's what I'm
look for
saying.
that
Does it
one.
affect their hitbox? Because then they'll just
Oh,
be skinny
God.
little sticks. She
Then you're
also
gonna be
found
in
one that
really
turned
big
all
trouble.
the common affected into cats, but they're all cat size, like, appropriately sized. So they're really, really small.
Oh God.
That's like turning it on hard mode.
Right?
No
That's
shit.
what I'm
Like,
saying.
it's super
Turn it
hard
on
mode.
expert and fucking cat mod. And you're like,
She saw that, and I was like,
Oh,
do
you
not
can
want
have your
that.
you can have your cat guns and shoot other cats
Yeah,
with
she
your
got
cat
the cat
guns.
gun. She found a bunch of Pokemon stuff. There's one that turns the gnome that you can carry into one of the Pokemon, but it's a Pokemon with like dead eyes, and I'm like, I'm not carrying that thing. I can't remember what it was called. It was one of the newer Pokemon, but I was like, that's actually terrifying. No, thank you. I don't want it to just be
Zombies,
staring
not
at
so
me.
much. Scary gnome, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I mean, gnomes are scary anyway, but just not that one. Not that.
not
So
that one.
next Friday we're gonna play that and see how
I'm gonna have to look at the Disney ones now. Now I want to do the Disney ones.
now that
Yeah,
you know.
Donald
I know
was
there's Star
something
Wars ones, right? Because don't you have stormtroopers?
Yeah.
Baka.
for the
Yeah.
common, but Mickey Mouse was the tank, and I think Donald was the witch.
That's weird.
Oh my god! And so you just hear like that duck when he gets mad, that little sound that he does instead of the scream.
I'd probably
That'd be
just
great.
stop and start laughing, and it would catch up to me. Like, oh my
Right.
God,
Turner.
get it away, get it away.
And then the tank comes in, and you hear, "Hey, everybody!" You know, and it's like,
Start screaming, social distancing, stay away.
The Mickey one is weird though because like they didn't like shrink him down or anything, so it's like a huge buff Mickey.
Mickey with like this
That's
giant upper
awesome.
body. Oh my god, that's terrifying.
"That's great." Is it like the cartoon Mickey, or is it more like mascot Mickey?
It
You know-
looked like cartoon Mickey.
Okay, I think it would be scarier if it was
On
like dude in a
steroids.
mask Mickey.
Well, because if you've ever
God.
seen the original mascot
They're
Mickey, like when they
terrifying.
first
Yes.
opened Disneyland, it's so scary because the eyes are like
Yes.
evil looking. It's so bad.
Child
so
enjoyment,
bad.
like entertainment back in the day was a lot more terrifying. Ugh.
I wonder if they have. I bet somebody's probably at least done a few of them. It would be funny to have college mascots. You know what I mean? So like some of the more famous college mascots would be up there, and those would be their.
That
main
would be
characters,
funny. That would be funny.
right?
You pick your college. You could make your rivals the special infected.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of work, but
So-
somebody needs to get on that. I don't know if any of the Left 4 Dead modders are nerdy enough about SEC football, but somebody should get on that.
Or just football in general, you know, it doesn't even have to be SEC. Because, I mean, think how funny it would be for, like, Stanford that's got that big giant tree. Like, if it was,
Is theirs a tree? That's their
theirs is a
mascot?
tree. They're the Cardinals, but it's a tree. And, and so they have, like, this pine tree looking thing because of where they're located at in California. And the
Okay.
fact they're a tree hugging school, right? So it's like they come out and this weird tree looking thing with big bulging eyes.
You could probably
Googly
find
eyes.
trees.
You gotta have googly eyes on it.
Yeah, it's got big googly eyes.
I wonder
need
if
to-
there
you need
is
to
a
Google
mod
that.
for
I'm telling
googly
you.
eyes.
Oh, I'm sure. There's a mod for
Oh.
I'm
everything.
gonna find out after this.
Left 4 Dead is the game that just keeps on giving.
Yes.
Like, if Valve ever had a hit, it was Left 4 Dead 2. Or Left 4 Dead in general. Like, they were like, oh, we can make this cheap-ass Source Engine game. I'm sure some people are going to enjoy it. Yeah, well, here we are, fucking 13 years later, still playing the shit out of this one, waiting for a third one.
Yeah.
You're not getting it. It's Valve.
Yeah. It's not. They don't know how to count that.
Valve. They don't do threes.
They haven't been able to learn to count to 3 yet. They're like 1, 2.
They can get to 2.5 though.
They get distracted
Yeah.
after that though.
2.5.
She did notice though, like the amount of because replacements for Bill, like specifically, the amount of times you can replace him with an anime girl is ridiculous. Like, okay, I
Welcome
get that
to
you don't want the
Lonely
old
Val-
man, but why do we have to turn him into an anime girl?
Does
Because
the
they
voice
like that
change?
gruff,
Because that's
they
just
like that
creepy if
gruff
it doesn't.
voice.
Some do, some don't.
The voice, yeah.
Some of them have voice packs that come in with the survivor mods, but some of them do
some
not.
Some of them don't. It gets very unsettling.
Here's an anime girl. What's up? You know, it's like, what?
Somebody walks up. How you doing? Pretty good yourself? Whoa. All right, dude. It's 2020. We're all good and whatnot, but I'm going to go sit over there.
Well,
it's not for me. Not for me. Walking away.
And then exactly. I know this game will tie in at least 2 more of you, and we'll talk about it forever, and Baka will just be like, I wish you would all shut up. But
don't worry, we'll talk about WoW.
Chicken and I also made a lot of plans for our Animal Crossing this weekend. Since we're sharing an island, we have to discuss things together, and so now we have a plan.
Your plan, it sounds exactly the same. Like, the way you presented it is the same thing as, like, okay, we're having the kid. We've got this entire plan set up to be able to expand the part of the house that's on there. And it's like, now it's like, we have Animal Crossing, so we got this entire plan for our island.
That's actually one of the things. Chicken's like, I hate that you're making me work on 2 projects at once.
My virtual island and my real life house. It's like, I have a huge reconstruction project in the game and a huge construction project in real life.
Because we're planning to move all of the NPC houses and our houses and like all of the shops. The only thing you can't move is the residence center, so it's staying where it's at, but that's fine. Like,
we're gonna build around it.
Yeah. So
you can't move the residence center.
No. Once you put that down, that's where it is. So
it doesn't come down. Like, when you first pick your island, it tells you where the residence center is going to be, and that's where it will always be.
So it's basically the same place every single island.
Well, it'll shift gently around in certain areas, but it's going to mostly be towards the bottom center of your island,
but close to the airport.
And then it'll move according to the rivers that run through. Because there were a couple that I had it set right in the middle of all of the rivers. Like, you couldn't get to it because of the river. So
I've got to go dig up trees because I accidentally ate a turnip. So in case you don't know, when you eat a turnip, it's worth 10 fruit. So so now I've got the 10 health thing. I can't go hit a rock because I'll destroy them. So I've got to go and
they'll come back though.
Do them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't want to destroy them. I want to be able to get all the stuff out of it, not just one little thing out of the middle.
I did replanting yesterday. Like, the place that we want to put the neighborhood for our villagers is up close to where my house is at, and there was like just a bunch of trees over there. So I relocated all of the trees and separated them out. So we have like an orchard section and then the plain tree section. I did a lot of work.
I'm gonna get real crazy about it too, because my plan is on the side of the island that we're gonna build, where we're gonna put all the houses, is I'm going to take the shovel and I'm gonna dig a line straight up the side of it, and then I'm going to figure out how far apart each of the houses need to be.
Yeah, he's math and everything.
Since that'll be my measurement, because it's the only way that you can get straight lines. So I'll just use the holes to line up everything, and then I could put everybody's houses in a straight line in each of the areas. And I'm going to map out where I'm going to put the roads with weeds, and then that's where we'll put down the roads so that the weeds will pretend to be the roads so we can
temporary. See them for now, because we don't have access to the roads yet. We
exactly.
have to have 2
more people. You can download the app and just grab a pattern and put it on the ground and temporarily until you are able to build. That's what I did for my and by the way, weeds and other stuff won't grow there. By the way, once you put that pattern down, nothing will grow.
So, like, what's the website?
You go onto their app, on the phone app, like Nintendo's phone app.
Oh, I got you.
And all you do on that is link your Nintendo account to it, and then you can literally just Google Animal Crossing QR codes. And then it has a QR reader, and you pop up that thing, and then I'm assuming that you have, in the actual game, you have the advanced custom tool on your phone.
Oh, I haven't bought that yet, but I was going to.
Yeah, so if you buy that, then you're able to do it, and it literally it'll take the pattern, and you go, okay, put it on the ground. And then when you put it on the ground, you can...
Oh, it's the stamps that I've seen everywhere. People have built whole roads. Yeah.
Yeah, so people do it with full roads and all that type of stuff. You want to do it, but
does it, like,
if you just want a placeholder until you can build them, at least you'll be able to do that, and you'll be able to map it out.
Does it stamp the whole island?
No, it just stamps where you're standing. It'll stamp where you're standing in front of you.
It's the little pictures that you've seen on the ground, Chicken. Like the little squares.
I thought it was like a whole thing where it would just stamp the whole island to where I could where it would put the layout that I wanted over top, and then
no, it's not like that. No, it's just individual. Like
we found a website
it's gonna be just as tedious.
We found a website that let us take one of the island patterns and overlay our island on top of it, so you could trace it out, and have your island that you can move stuff around on. And we did that. I did that.
Yeah, that is super nice because I took a screenshot of our island.
Y'all a little obsessed. I'm just saying right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at this shit going, all right, I like the bamboo I got. I'm just going to put some over here, and then later on I'll worry about the others.
This is why I don't play City Skylines and things like that, is because I just fucking lose myself. Like, I will just sit there fucking lining up everything to a goddamn... So. Yeah, That's why when I first got it, that's why I let her be the one in charge, and I was going to plan out the island so that we could put everything down and make everything all pretty and nice and organized.
Did y'all ever get rid of the villager?
No, he's still there. No. He's just gonna sit there. Chicken likes him.
I like him. He's not bad.
I got Kyle. I liked your villager.
I like him too. I think he's not too bad.
He has a weird house. It makes puns.
That's why she hates him.
He told me to stop shaking all of the trees and leave some for the rest of us. Get it? He actually said get it, and I was like, I will push you down a well.
This is why you don't like him. It's a pun hate. I got you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he made puns. I just didn't like his dumb face. Chicken's like,
the whole game is a pun. Everything in this game is punny.
That's not true.
Right? I mean, come on. So Kyle is very smug though, so I've got to figure out how to deal with him. Yeah, he was a camper that I invited in because I liked his look. He's a wolf he's like yellow and purple.
We have 4 more spots for campers, and that's what I love too. Like, you can have 10 campers, or you can have 10 villagers regardless, and then up to 4 extra people playing onto your island. So you can have up to 14 people living on your island. It's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, it is. We did have a problem.
I didn't realize there were 400 villagers.
Yeah, there's like a ton of them.
I was like, what? There's 400 what?
You can either use your camping grounds or go to random islands to try to find people. And people are
because two of them I got from random islands, which is Tutu and Chevrolet.
Yeah, we got Maddie from an island, and the other 2 moved in afterwards. And then we asked, what's his name?
And I did not ask Bob on that island. I think it was Bob, the cat.
I'm surprised you didn't ask Bob. Isn't Bob popular?
I don't care if they're popular or not. I want people that I like.
Popular. Isn't he popular?
Oh, I hate you.
Yes. Well done, sir. Well done.
Oh, he is. He's a tier A villager.
Well, that's fine. Somebody else can have him. He's a cat.
I think he's like the lazy stoner cat
that looks sketchy. He does look sketchy.
What
he looks like
category
he's about to steal all your
personality?
He's lazy.
Oh, I got that. Don't talk to me.
Evidently, Griff's character is smug.
No, my character is really nice until people start making puns. That I'm mad. My dress looks like ice cream, though. It's cute. I am a nice villager.
Ice cream.
It does. It's like the Dreamland dress or something like that. I can't remember where I got it.
I have a whole wizard suit. Somebody gave me the wizard suit.
I have ancient robes. I don't remember where they came from either. Actually, I think the little mouse, Dora, she's my favorite on the island. I think she gave those to me. So.
I had a friend come over today to buy turnips because they're on East Coast and theirs had already gone away. So I was like, oh yeah, let me open the gates for you. And then so they gave me 10 turnips for free. And then I ate one accidentally.
Nice.
Yeah. So now I have 9 in that pile.
Oh boy, 9.
To see. Well, they're in groups of 10, so you see a 9. It's very strange. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this? But all right, weird. All right. So we'll see. Hopefully, I can turn them in. But like I said, if you ever want to have ants, just let one of them rot and go put it on the beach. You'll get ants.
Apparently, there's fleas in the game too. I was watching another podcast.
They'll be on people.
Yeah, one of the hosts was like, this one guy always has fleas and wants me to help him, and then he's creepy.
How do you help him?
Well, I don't know. I guess give them medicine. Maybe medicine is a cure-all. I have no idea.
Oh, for the flea? No, you take your net and you scoop the fleas off of them.
Oh. Well.
Because that's one of the bugs that you can put in the museum.
All right then.
Nice.
The only reason I know that is because King Goth did that on stream, and I was like, what? And he was complaining to the person. It's like, this is the third flea I've had to take off of you this week. What are you doing with your life?
None of our villagers so far have had any sort of bug issues, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Our villagers are obviously very clean. That's good. I approve.
Definitely good. It is May though, so you got brand new bugs and fish and stuff like that are showing up. So that's awesome.
I don't think I've caught any new fish or anything yet. But then again, we were doing more city planning than fishing. It's the last couple of days.
Now it's time to get a bunch of money, get the houses in order, and then move. Well, we're gonna have to move the museum.
Oh, speaking of planning, I did find this out too. You got your money tree, right? So this is what I found out this week. If you take 11,000 bells instead of 10,000 bells and put it into the hole, then mark what day you actually did that. Okay.
Okay.
So you go through in a 7-day cycle. All right. And then what I'm doing is putting mine in a line so I know which day I took them and which ones they are. But when you go to shake the tree, if each one of the bells is 10,000, then that's just a regular day. But there are fertile days for those trees. So if you get 11,000 bells out of each one of those bags, then that's a fertile day. And it's not a day of the week, it's a pattern. So you might have, let's say, fertile day, 2 days that aren't fertile, another day that is fertile, one day that's not, and then another day that is fertile, like that for a pattern.
Weird.
And then you can mark an entire month. You can actually mark the entire year so you know what days to put 99,000 bells in it. So when that tree becomes full, then you're getting almost 300,000 out of that tree.
This is the fool who just said that we were obsessed.
Yeah.
I just happened upon the information, okay? So I just,
See, we're over here going,
I'm obsessed with the bells.
Yes, we're like, how can we make the
bells.
island pretty and accommodate our villagers and everything? And he's like, how can I get rich quick?
Or how can I get rich in order to be able to buy the things that I want to buy? But that's,
You're all obsessed.
My turnips are not working for me, so I have to find a way to get them.
Yeah, I'm not
My
doing
turnips
turnip
just
stock
aren't
market.
doing it. Yeah, neither am I.
I got lucky though. The other day, it was the one week I didn't buy turnips, and mine ended up being at 202. So No Pants came over and sold all his. So he nearly made 100,000. So that's not bad.
You could do the weed removing service.
Yeah, that's one of the few news articles we had is that somebody started a weed removal service where you can have them come to your island and just weed it for you for free. It's like, what else are you doing in
accidentally pick up
game?
weeds. Why do I need somebody here?
Well, I'm thinking, what are you doing in game that is so important that weeds have overrun your island and you need a service to come get them?
That article is also to show how busy Eurogamer's been these last few weeks. That they made an article, a full article about a Reddit thread from weeding an Animal Crossing.
Hey, there's not a lot going on right now, okay? Everything's kind of on hold.
No, it's not.
Well, and yeah, everyone's playing Animal Crossing but me, apparently.
Well, and that's true.
Apparently.
Animal Crossing is, like, being the savior of the quarantine for a lot
Including
lot of people.
super
Nintendo's
casual
economy
game.
is looking really good right now. Invest in Nintendo stock should have been the beginning of this when everything else dropped. It's like,
hell yeah! I mean, the Switch is doing super well. Oh, also for anybody else out there, if you have this fucking problem, because I did the maze yesterday.
The Mayday
for
maze?
Mayday. Yeah, if anybody has this problem to where you can't, where you have an extreme amount of trouble jumping down over holes, because that was my biggest problem. Is I just I couldn't jump down over holes. I could jump up over to the sides and whatnot, and it was just so inconsistent by how hard it was to jump down. It's a Joy-Con.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and I struggled through the
and
whole stupid thing.
I switched to the Pro Controller. I ran through that thing in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
when it
because the
took me
maze
like
isn't
4
particularly
hours.
hard. It's just being able to jump over some of the holes.
Consistently, yeah, and it was a Joy-Con. I looked it up. Somebody else was like, I just can't do it. And somebody's like, well, you see, it seems like it's a Joy-Con issue. I switched to the Pro Controller, and I could jump down. Like, he would auto-jump down over him.
For sure.
Yes. For the record,
sorry
if
for
you're
those people
having
that don't
trouble,
have a Pro Controller.
Oh.
Or those people
life.
that have a light where they don't have even a choice for that.
Oh, God. Oof. Because I would spend like 5 or 10 minutes holding down, running back and forth, trying to jump over it, and he would not do it.
My problem is the fact that sometimes they just jump over them when I'm trying not to do that. Like, I'm trying to get them to feel the damn hole, and they'll just jump over the hole. I'm like, no, I'm hitting the button. Kill it.
I don't usually run into that problem. I just have the jumping problem because I'm using the Joy-Cons on the system. I didn't look that part up to see what the issue was.
I was
just
getting
struggled through it.
so sick of it.
It took me like an hour in that stupid maze, not because I couldn't figure it out, but because my lady wouldn't jump. I'm like,
Well, that sucks.
I'm just gonna punch somebody.
Good to know, though.
Mm-hmm. Just to
Yeah,
help
I still got
anybody
to do
else.
mine. I haven't done mine. I'm supposed to be doing mine today when we get off of here.
It was
All right,
neat.
what else has everybody played?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean
I've mostly just played WoW here and there because I've been busy rearranging and redoing in the room.
Yeah, you got another shelf over there.
I actually
And
made
another shelf
additional
behind you.
shelves for the black one that I got not too long ago to fit.
Oh, that's why those shelves are a different color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they were stickers
I-
on the front. I was like, did he put labels on the front of this shelf? For
They
display
look.
purposes?
It almost looks striped though. Like if you went down a little bit more and put another one to where then it would be like white, black, white,
There's
black.
another one.
White.
You
There
just
is?
can't see
Awesome.
it.
Yeah. I haven't put it on yet.
There will be another.
Yes.
Awesome.
But yeah,
I don't think I've played
it gives me
anything
some more
else.
room for figures and stuff. I got my Star Wars ones up, which you can see the
Yeah, I was
walker
gonna say,
up
we can
there,
see
and
the
then
big walker.
Yeah, all the little figures are all up. Now I just gotta sort the rest of them and put them up.
Should only take you
I'm
a couple
doing
of
it by
years.
category, so like the movie
my
ones are
God.
going together.
See, look, we all have our things that we're very, organizational about. Bacchus is organizing Star Wars action figures by category. Which I don't
It's
follow
all
that
action
one.
figures.
It's just toys in general because I'm doing movies, video game ones.
What do you do if they're like combination of two? Like let's say it's a video game version of a movie character or TV
And it
character.
goes with the video games.
Go with the origin of it.
Yeah, whatever it's imitating. If it's imitating the video game, well, it goes in the video game.
So like if you got the Joker from the games versus Joker from the TV show, you're going with the video. game.
Those actually all the DC stuff, and I'm just gonna put together.
You're like, ah.
See, that answered my question.
That gets a
Yeah.
subcategory.
So yeah, like all the.
So
DC,
now he's got the DC stuff. Now he's got to do the video game with DC.
Yeah,
The-
like
the
I'm
Marvel
gonna
stuff.
have my Batmobile in the back, and then just the rest of them are gonna be up front, and then I'm putting all the Marvel characters together.
Oh yeah. We'll have to
If
take
anybody
pictures
wants
and
to know
put
what
it up
people
on
do during a
Discord.
pandemic, here you go, folks. When you have time on your hands.
When you've
Yeah,
got,
gotta keep
everybody's
busy
got plenty of
somehow.
time on their hands these days.
Be funny. So we want to get in the news, or is there any other games we want to mention?
I've played WoW. I played DayZ with
Snitty
Newbie
and
and Snitty. We tried to play Total
we
War
played
Shogun.
a bit of Risk of Rain.
Yes, we did play a little bit.
Oh,
of
that's
Risk of
right.
Rain.
Y'all played right after we got done last week, right?
Yes, which was a shitload of fun. And by the way, putting the mods on so that the items drop off of monsters and you can choose your items is a shitload of fun. Because then you just, like, the game objective is just to kill everything as much as possible. And then if something drops, you get to pick it up and you decide what you want. So it makes the game
That's
so
nice.
much easier to play with other people, too. So, you're just out killing something.
Yeah.
Out an item pops, you pick it up, you take what you want. instead
It
of
also
being
makes
like,
it
"Oh, this
easier
dropped."
to customize your character on the build you want to go with.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. Like the mods they were definitely right when they said when they add artifacts, it's going to completely change the replayability of the game, which they were 100% right. Because now you can survive forever, but I will say there's one problem with it, is that eventually you'll become so OP that it just becomes unfun, because you can build the perfect layout, and then
I'm too strong. Oh no.
It becomes like it becomes unfun, like I do with my engineer. Like I got a bunch of healing things and then a bunch of AoE, and you literally sit one down, its healing aura pops up. You set the second one down and its healing aura, and then you stand in the middle and you've got 3 healing auras, and then you just stand there and watch them just demolish everything. Doesn't matter how hard things get, they'll just blow up everything instantly. So it's really fun, but it can get boring if you just build as powerful as you can. So it's a balancing act. I still do like the RNG to kind of see what kind of build you're going to get as you play, but it's better for people who are not that good and look to build a specific way.
That's who
RNG.
Well, but I guess theoretically it would allow you to be able to is almost a test too of, like, even with the RNG, if this were to drop, do I want this or do I not want this? You would be able to tell that by doing the other, right? So you'd be able to. It's almost like a test engine.
Oh yeah, for sure. You get to kind of see how it works on each character and if it's good pickup and things like that.
That would make sense. I'd probably be okay with that, because then you could just, okay, no, I don't like this. Let me go back to this, or does this work with this type deal?
Mm-hmm.
So works
for sure.
Yeah, I played some Modern Warfare. We did some Warzone on it. We had beaten the co-op, so didn't decided not to do it. But the Modern Warfare stuff with the Warzone, we ended up with, I think, a 2nd place, 3rd place, and a 5th place, which wasn't too bad. It was, and we were playing. I think we played 2 matches with the quads and 1 with a trio. And I still like trios better. Like, quads is fun because you can add that extra person in there, but I still like trios better. I just think it has a faster feel to it, and it's better. It's sweatier too, in a lot of ways. So I prefer it. What?
I just hate that phrase.
Sweatier?
Yeah. I mean, it's just a trendy thing, and I get it, but I don't know. There's something about it. I'm like, every time I hear it.
Honestly, it feels like you're a teenager trying to say something edgy. Because my nephew
the whole
likes to say that about his little brother.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of the idea behind it. Like it makes sense
when
you drop into a place it's sweaty.
What happened to the word try hard?
Well, that's
it's the same thing. Why did you change to sweaty?
Because this is the new one.
No, try hard is an individual. Sweaty is an area. Like, this whole area is sweaty, which means if I drop into that area, there's a lot of people that are there. You're going to be sweating in order to be able to fight through. Where these people are tryhards is totally different.
No, because my nephew calls his little brother a sweaty.
Yeah, it's used in correlation
it's
to
a
people
specific
too.
Yeah, it's a specific terminology calling someone something too. Yes. That guy is a sweaty because he tryhards all the time.
Okay, I'm not using the term that way. That's dumb.
Yes, it is, because the word is tryhard. I mean,
he's a tryhard. Yes, that is the term for that. Sweaty to me is an area.
It's because the kids nowadays have moved away from, like, tryhard is what we used to call them, and now the new generation has come up with a new word. Congratulations, you're all old. They've come up with a new word to call those people now. Instead of using ours, they want to call them sweaties. Well,
and they're basing it off of terminology. Basically, what they're doing is they go, okay, here's a term to say this area is going to be this. And so if you're in that area, you're now a sweaty, evidently. I didn't know that's what that was. Or those people, I guess, that are automatically going to drop into that would be technically a sweaty, right?
Yeah, because they're tryhards, right?
Right. They're tryhards, but it's like...
I'm like, old. I'll take it. Like I don't. Like
hey, fun fact: when I drop in, I try not to drop into the sweaty area. I'm outside trying to get all my loot, all my shit together, so my character's where I want it to be, and then I have to move into the sweaty area, which is fine. I am not a tryhard.
My old person moment is I am playing classic WoW with somebody who wasn't even alive when I was playing WoW the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, one of our guildies
Chicken
kids.
feeling old now.
Yep.
Yeah, like I played WoW in 2005. This guy wasn't even born until 2006. When I had that realization, I was like, he's like, I wasn't even alive when WoW came out, and I was like, oh no.
He's a nice kid, though. I mean,
yeah, he's a really nice kid.
Well, he's got his dad's real stand-up dude too, though. So.
But when you have a game that's that old, you know, it's bound to happen.
Yeah, it feels weird when you run into it, though.
Yeah, it's like I played this game way back in the day before he was born, and now I'm playing it again
with him.
With him.
Wait until you get in the conversation when you're turning around and you're like, "Oh yeah, this is like I'll be out somewhere and talking to somebody. We're having a whole conversation. Obviously, there's a generational gap. We're talking, and then that question has to ask, when were you born again? Or you mention a year and they'll go, oh shit, that was like 10 years before I was born. I was like, done. Have a nice day. I've got a decade more on that.
Well, I mean, we've got a lot of that on the opposite side of the spectrum too in our guild. Like we found out that some of our guildies are 60 plus. And so you're like,
oh, that's awesome though.
Yeah. But then that's the same, I guess it's the same for them where they're like, I was playing Atari before you were born. You're like, yeah, you were. So then, you know, we have the whole
Technically,
spectrum,
I was playing Atari before y'all were born. Thanks for throwing that one in there. I mean, I'm like,
I was just trying to pick a
No
game.
problem. Congratulations.
Wow.
Well,
thanks, Griff.
Sorry. Let's talk about some news.
That's how she does it.
We already covered the weed, right?
The weed service, yes.
Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah. I was like, the what article now? I don't remember that article.
Oh, sorry, 420 was a couple weeks ago.
We changed the podcast subject, right? I didn't know what's going on. Too funny.
So which of the other three things?
I get. Yeah, I don't know which
one. We want to go with the big news for the week. That's
which one do you think is the big news?
The one
that somebody sent us an entire article that none of us are going to read.
Oh yeah, okay, fine. That one's good.
Yeah, good which I'm sure anybody who's been on the internet has definitely heard about this or had it completely spoiled for them.
Yeah, basically, The Last of Us Part 2, a lot of the main story and plot details was leaked.
Which sucks.
And yeah, people are not happy with whatever they are. So if you're curious, go read about it.
And if you're not,
or don't, so that you can't accidentally spoil it, please.
Yes, if you are one of those people that's like, I'm not gonna play, I don't care about spoilers, whatever, and you read them, don't go telling everybody else about them. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, it's okay. If you like spoilers, that's your gig. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. Do not mess up the others. Something like that for everyone else. It's like we have a kind of a rule here, which is spoilers. We hit a certain amount of years on the game, spoilers are going to happen. We get that. But there is no reason for a game that's not even out yet for you to be spoiling for people.
Well, and initially there was rumors that it was... What?
Well, I was going to say it made it where they pushed it back indefinitely at the moment. Like there's not a date on it.
I don't think they pushed it back indefinitely. They had already said that they were postponing it before the leak, but at first everybody's like, this must be somebody from Naughty Dog. Then they're like, it's a Sony person. It's not anybody from Sony or Naughty Dog. They do know it's a third party, but they're not going to say who it is.
I'm just glad they're able to figure out who it is.
They're probably not saying who it is because there's going to be legal action.
I would agree with that. There's going to be legal action. You can. The other thing about it is too, we knew it had already been set up to be delayed, but it also one of those where with PS5 coming out, I'm interested to see how long they end up delaying that. To where do they wait and go ahead and release on PS4 too, or do they just wait it out and they can pop it on PS5?
But they did announce a release date for Last of Us.
I thought that the last time we heard anything about it, they had postponed it, until...
Yeah, but on their blog right here that I'm looking at, The Last of Us Part 2 will arrive on June 19th, and The Ghost of Tsushima will follow on July 17th.
I didn't know they had...
So June 19th we have it.
June 19th. Yeah, this article came out April 27th, which I said something about it, I think, last week. When it first popped up, I was like... I even said it in Discord, too, because I was like, hey, they announced a release date for...
Oh, yeah, it would be this week.
not-
This week that came out then.
So they only delayed it a year. I mean, a month.
Oh,
my God,
holy
words.
It comes out June 19th, 2021.
Assuming everything stays
Everybody just went,
on
"What?"
track right now. So, but we'll
Yeah.
see how it goes, because the global distribution environment is still a little wobbly. So we'll see if it stabilizes or it falls apart again by June 19th. Because I'm sure they're perfectly fine being like, no, we're gonna go ahead and push it back again. It's not looking good.
Sorry about the squeakies. I heard Rue. I saw him
Oh,
turning
yeah.
around. There's a squeaky toy in his bed that he was stepping on.
Yep. Sorry about that, folks.
I thought he was whining.
No.
I didn't know what it was.
That's a squeaky toy.
I thought he was like, oh, they're talking on the thing again.
All right, Goofy.
I'm glad they found out who it was. Ollie was very upset about it earlier this week as it was happening because he saw some things that were spoilers that he did not want to see. So
I may have seen one too. Now, I will warn everybody to be extremely cautious because people are posting them on anything. Anything that you look at that even has nothing to do with The Last of Us or PlayStation or anything in the world, that'll have a spoiler there. Like, I clicked on something random tweet yesterday.
On Twitter especially.
Yeah, and it just popped up, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I would also be cautious too, for like people like me and Chicken that do stream. If you're planning on playing on stream, make sure you have a very good mod that's there that is willing to delete quickly, because
like, they're gonna have to like be there just watching chat, and as soon as they see something that's fucky, they got like it sucks for a mod too because they have to read it, so they're going to be spoiled.
I do know Mixer has a little bit of advantage in there, because one of the things that you can do on Mixer that I don't think you can do on Twitch is, because we have channel rankings. Essentially, the longer you stay in, the more communicate and stuff like that, then your ranking goes up. You can actually set it to where no one can talk in the chat below a certain ranking. So if somebody just came in to spoil, they're a 1, so they can't do that. So it does make it to where they're you're less likely to happen. It can still happen, but because there are ways around it. But
I know there's a special mod privilege to where you can have like certain phrases and whatnot pop up for mods first before they allow it to go into chat.
that might not be a bad idea. So to be already have
mod
it set
view,
up,
so that
right?
they can see it. Yeah, it's like, okay, that one looks a little suspicious, and then it'll be like, all right, mod, do you want this to be said in chat, or does this look a little sketchy for you? And you're like, no, let's not let that one go. Oh,
That's a good feature. I like that.
yeah, it's especially in this day and age where people will literally just come into your chat while you're playing it and ruin the end of the game for you right there. The game just comes out too, and you're like, well, fuck you, and that guy just walks away and laughs at you.
Yeah, and they'll do it on smaller streamers like ours because of the fact they're like, okay, well, maybe they don't have a mod there.
Yeah, maybe there's no
whatever it is,
repercussions
and
to
it's-
this. I'm pretty quick with the Banhammer and Chicken's channel though, so and almost anytime he's streaming, I'm there. So
Yep.
you know, just be aware.
Yes.
Yeah, we do a 5,000 minute timeout to start with, and tell them to be nice. But now on if they spoil a game, they're banned. Done.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that. Fuck that. There's no redemption for something like that, and there's no excuse for it either.
In my case, I usually get a comment about the fact that I'm bald, and people are not original about bald jokes, by the way. Like,
you think? I mean, baldness has been a thing for thousands and thousands of years. You think they'd have better jokes by now?
Oh no, they're savage, man. They'll come in and go, so when are you due to die from cancer? Shit like that.
That's not even
That's
a good
an
one.
immediate ban. That's
not even a
ban.
good joke either. Because the joke is supposed to be, you laugh, you make the streamer go, "Holy shit, you got me good on that one." But
Well,
that's just
I've got people who come in and tell me that I'd look like
Mr. Clean.
Howie Mandel, and then there's another one that's Pitbull, the rapper. They say I look like, those are the two I get. And it's like, I
because
don't
it's
mind
like the
those.
only bald people that are in pop culture enough for them to acknowledge, I guess.
Oh
right.
my god.
I mean, I would have gone with
I'm like,
Mr.
oh.
Clean before either one of them, but
I get that one every once in a while too, but
Mr.
not
Clean
as
is
much
all
as-
like on every household product. Just like
Right?
what?
Yeah.
How do you not know
Yeah,
who
but
that
to be
is? I
fair,
guess
some
you're
of these
not-
people might not even know what a cleaning anything is.
Well, that's
so.
true. Maybe you're not tan enough though. Mr. Clean has a nice tan. Maybe that's the difference.
Pitbull.
His eyebrows are also white.
Yeah, but sometimes he
Hispanic.
looks really, really white though. Like he wears a lot of light clothes,
Yeah.
and a lot of pictures he comes out really washed out just because he's in bright lights and white clothing.
I'll give you that.
So-
I'll give you that. Too funny. Anyway,
You're talking about Assassin's Creed, or the Viking game that has a hidden blade.
Oh hell yeah, the new Viking game.
Maybe because
Yeah,
the
you've seen the new
Vikings were
Viking game.
known for being stealthy and assassin-like.
I really feel like Assassin's Creed, and Chicken said this earlier before the show, is living like off the name alone, because the series is not so much about assassins and Templars anymore. It's more like, let's go to cool places in history and play cool things that were actually historical events so that you can all see this cool history, because that's what Assassin's Creed has always been. Also, this is a Viking and we gave him a blade, so he's obviously an assassin, so we can call it Assassin's Creed.
I'm gonna preach this to the day I die. But the Assassin's Creed, which would help it bring it back to, would be the Nemesis system to put in there, and I'm gonna fucking preach it for as long as I fucking can. Is having a hierarchy built inside of the game in which you hunt Templars and you work your way up their ranks and whatnot would be incredible. Work your way into there, capture Templar spy so that you can get information on their higher ups. Hunt the higher ups. Work your way up the chain. Like,
I think the only problem you deal with that is the flack that Mordor got from
being
the entire
Assassin's
game
Creed and
design.
Batman.
Yeah. It's like,
well, okay, you say flack like it's a bad thing. The gameplay in that was just incredible.
I feel like the Nemesis system, though, was impressive enough that I'm sad that more games don't use it. Because that's a really cool system. And it could lend itself really well to a lot of games.
All your big bads come out dynamically changed. They adapt to your playstyle on a regular basis. They fucking remember you. You killed them and they come back. You hunt them and they remember. You can control them and create your own army and things like that, which that wouldn't work in this, but that you wouldn't have to.
I would actually like to see an FPS that's set up that way.
I was thinking about how that would work for
use-
FPS, like how you could manage
Anything
to have
can
enough
use the
variety.
Nemesis system.
I think you could do it in a Borderlands style game.
Probably.
Yes,
to where,
absolutely.
Because you got that open world and everything else like you do in Mordor, things like that. I agree though. Nemesis system is fantastic, but I just don't think that Ubisoft's going to do it because of the amount of flack that they gave them.
Yeah, I know.
In the first
of
place.
all, like, could you imagine the Nemesis system in like Black Flag, where you have specific named pirates
Ships
that
that come
actually,
after you? Oh,
like,
no.
you killed them later and they come back with a bigger ship because you sank their other one, and now they're hunting you. Mm-hmm. And you know that pirate too. You've gotten into ship fights with him multiple times, and then he's coming back for another go, and it's like, oh my god,
That would be a good one, like a ship-based combat thing. That would be a good game.
Oh, you mean Skull and Bones?
No,
But
because that's all PvP. Skull and Bones is
it's gonna be
CFD.
all
But here's the
only
thing:
with fighting.
they killed an opportunity. You could have done the Nemesis system, had an actual single player system that was set up exactly what was just described. So PvE people like us, fantastic, and have a fantastic PvP section
True.
that they've been working on too. They can make that shit pay to win all they want to, as long as my damn PvE shit is the way I want it to be, and I can have my friends on my boat, or they can have their own boat. I don't care. Just have fun with it,
It's so criminal that the Nemesis system was not used or not broadened into other games, because holy shit, the dynamics that it would just let open in other worlds.
It will be eventually, but I doubt it. Like,
I think that Nemesis system, they're going to hold on to it as long as they can, because Behemoth, that's what they have. They don't have anything else.
You know what a really good franchise that could use that is? Like, in future iterations of games that are not tied intrinsically to the movies? Star Wars. You put a Nemesis system in a Star Wars game where you are like a bandit or whatever, and a traitor and things like that, where you've got other people like bounty hunters that come after you that you've met before. Oh man, I don't even like Star Wars.
That's all I'm hearing right now. KOTOR 3, we got this shit.
Yes, especially because that was back in the day when there were more on the dark side, right? Like, it wasn't just the 1-in-1.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
There was one master, and then there's lots of apprentices and whatnot. Like,
aren't there always like a
KOTOR, yes.
The old Republic era, there's multiple systems.
Yeah, see, that would be perfect, because then you've got your big headmaster guy, or multiple masters, and then you have all of their apprentices that you could try to hunt down on different planets and try to work your way up the chain to find out where their masters are. Tell me that would not be fucking nice.
That'd be badass.
You could choose which side you want to be on too. Like, you can hunt the Jedi Masters, or you can hunt the Dark Side Masters. Like, holy shit, the things you could do with it. Maybe someday we'll get something else, but until then,
I like that this started out as an
Mordor.
Assassin's Creed conversation, has turned into what can we do with the Nemesis system.
I don't even think we actually talked about, other than the fact that it was Vikings.
Yeah, no,
and the name.
It's Assassin's
That was
Creed
it.
Valhalla, so yes, it will be Vikings, and you're fighting the English, so they're obviously going to be the Templars.
And Griff said before the show too, is the whole fighting style of a Viking does not seem to fit anywhere in the world of Assassin's Creed.
Think about everything that you know about Viking combat. Now tell me how many of those Vikings that are all about like brute force and battlefield tactics are going to be like, okay, let's seriously focus on the subterfuge system here so that we can scale this wall, sneak in, steal these plans, and sneak back out. And if we have to kill anybody, we do it super quiet so that nobody knows we're here. Vikings are not like that.
Do you think the success of God of War has something to do with this?
Yes. Yes, and Vikings, like, because Assassin's Creed, like, with Ubisoft looking at Assassin's Creed titles has always been like, what's the next coolest thing in history that we can do? And Vikings have always been on that list. It's just one of those things where it's like, nobody should take that seriously, because how are you gonna make an assassin a Viking at the same time? Because that's not really their fight style. And Ubisoft said, you know what, we don't care, let's do it anyway. People want it, give them some Vikings, and throw Assassin's Creed's name on it.
I mean, I guess it's going to play more like Odyssey, because a lot of what I've seen in Odyssey was not Assassin's Creed. It was just, it was just a lot of combat and whatnot. Yeah. Like, there was a lot less subterfuge.
They've really gotten away from, it seems like, and I say this as somebody that did not play the last game at all, and only played, like, a couple of hours of Origins and didn't finish Syndicate. So, like, my Assassin's Creed has certainly fallen off. But
see,
it just seems like they've gotten...
I really liked Origins, though.
Well, I don't think that it was bad. It didn't grab me in a way that made me want to play the whole thing. I got probably, like, 30 to 40% of the way in that game before I was like, meh, I got some other stuff to play instead. It's not grabbing me. But Assassin's Creed has fallen off on the story a lot, too, I feel like. I heard that Odyssey's story was really impressive. But I just haven't been
Was it really impressive for it being a game, or was it really impressive for being part of the Assassin's Creed franchise?
It's probably impressive for being a game, not necessarily it feels like an Assassin's game.
I think part of the thing that made it impressive was the fact that it was a unisex storyline.
Yeah.
Because you could play either the male or the female.
Well, it's because they got so much flack from Assassin's Creed Unity that they thought it was going to have a playable female character, and then they said they couldn't animate it. And then we got Syndicate right after that, which had a female and a male that you swap back and forth in between. And this time they're like, you can just pick. You be you.
Right.
So.
Right.
Ubisoft took a really long time to climb that hill.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I think part of that is too, like, I don't know percentage-wise how many people were playing the Assassin's Creed gender-wise, or at least identified gender-wise, what they preferred to play as, but I think that that was a natural progression. They should have done that in Unity to start with. It should have been to where you had a male and a female character that you could both play back and forth like they did Syndicate, and then move on.
Yeah, but then you would have been playing... The only female character was on the other side. So you would have been playing the Templar side of it, and I think they didn't want you to be super sympathetic towards that side.
But that's because they created the plot line before they even had the idea. Which I'm saying,
that's true.
In the idea process, they could have...
That you can't do both or anything like
More
that. I'm just saying, I
the
think that they wrote that story being male protagonist, and I think it would have been odd to have you swap to the female side of it being like you're swapping to the Templar side of it.
Yeah, well, based on the actual story that was written, yes. But I'm saying, like, if it started like how Syndicate did, which is when they created it from ground level, they knew they were going to have a male and a female character to play as.
Yeah.
They didn't later on go, oh, shit, Unity everybody was screaming, let's make these characters playable. That's not how they did that. They made it as part of the plot line. They could have done the same thing with Unity and just changed how the plot worked, right? So, but they didn't, and they moved on. I think was a good progression, because now you got people that go, oh wait, I don't mind playing as a female character. She's kind of a badass. And so then when you give them a choice later on, they're like, well, I can either choose which way I want to play.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people played as the female character.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Which was like Alexandra, right? Wasn't it like Alexander and Alexandra or some shit like that?
So.
Alexios was one of them, and Cassandra. And from what I read, it was 2/3 picked male and 1/3 picked female. So most people picked male.
Huh.
Okay.
It's interesting.
So that might be your dividing line, very close to your dividing line of male versus female players for that series too.
Well, this one definitely, it seems like your main guy is gonna be the dude that was in the trailer. So it seems like you're going back to being a dude. Because it didn't show anything. Like, there was a redheaded lady that got up behind him at one point that seems like she'll probably be important to the story. But I don't know if she'll be a playable character important, you know?
I guess
she might be.
We're gonna have to wait to see.
They were called Shield something.
Shield
Maidens.
Shield Maiden.
Shield Maiden.
They were awesome.
She might be just. Yeah, it'd be cool to be played as Shield Maiden. I'd be cool with that shit.
I'm pretty sure they also said that it's not gonna have a traditional leveling system, which I'm not entirely sure what that means.
It probably means that they're going back towards what Assassin's Creed 2 did, where you can go to a lot of places, but you probably want some better weapons in some of those places, but it's not gonna lock you out because you're not level appropriate. Like, Unity was where that really started, where it's like, you need to be able to buy this really expensive item in order to go to the next level because you're not cool enough yet to fight this guy because your gear sucks. So go do all of our side quests.
Origins, you could go into any place and fight. But you didn't necessarily want to do that, because when your eagle flew across the top, it showed you the levels of what everybody else was. Yeah. It was on there. So, yeah, I like the fact that they're doing it that way, because you're going to have those people that want the challenge. Okay, I'm a level 5 and these are all level 10s. Can I pull this off type thought process, right?
You probably could if you're skilled enough. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, that to me too, that's, gaming in general, a lot of times I don't want to fight something that's the same level I am. I want to fight something that's a little harder, because then I feel challenged, but then I also get more XP for it if it's an XP driven game, because I'm a lower level and they're a higher level, so I get more XP out of that kill. But
I think for me it's more, I look less, even at Borderlands, I look less at it being like, what level is this versus what level am I, versus how is the story carrying me here, and does it make sense for me to be here? Like, I'm more of a story immersive person, even if the game does have a level system, because I think that the level system should follow that immersion. It shouldn't be like, here's the wall that you hit in the middle of the story. Now go and do all of the side quests that don't have anything to do with the story because you're not good enough to continue with the story. And it's like, that's dumb.
Which, I guess technically that kind of does that in Origins, because it's one of those where, like, let's say again, I say I'm a level 2, they're a level 5, but that's the next progression of the storyline. I've got to be able to build my character up to be able to legit fight them.
Right.
I mean, I guess technically I could beat them all, and my level would go up, but it's not going to go to a level 5, so I can't progress to the next part of the line.
I don't like it when the side things that they want you to do are frivolous, stupid things, too. That it's like, there's literally no reason that my character would do this. I'm only doing it because you're making me go get extra XP, and this doesn't make sense for my character, but I guess I have to. Like,
I think that oh, damn it. Mass Effect did that in some of their games, didn't they? Like, it was just some random shit that they had on some of the planets.
The first Mass Effect had, you want to clear out all of the stuff that's on the planets, and some of it might be kind of frivolous, but I don't think that there was a lot in the first Mass Effect trilogy. In Andromeda, there were definitely those stupid side quests that didn't mean anything. But in the main
it depends
ones,
on how
well
the story is going to flow through. Like, some games have dynamic scaling in which you'll never outpace the content, which I think is the perfect way to do it. They are your level plus 1 or 2 maybe, depending on where in the level they're at. Like, if they're towards the back, they'll probably be a little stronger than you, and you'll have to work your way through. But sometimes they put those as like roadblocks to where it's like, okay, these enemies are minimum 15, you can't go here until you're at least 15, and then
I do know that like with Origins, and I'm assuming it was the same way with Odyssey. The way that it was set up was if you weren't supposed to be there, like at all, they had little skulls above the top, and you weren't touching those guys without dying.
Yeah.
Like they did have those, like this is unreachable, you're not going to be able to do anything. But if it was within reach, I think it was within 2 or 3 of what your actual level was, so it was doable, then they just had the numbers across the top of it. So I don't have a problem with that. Do what now?
That's how WoW does it. Like you'll have your level, 2 levels below you is yellow, 2 levels above you is yellow, 3 levels below you is green, 3 levels above you is orange, and then 5 levels below you is gray, and 5 levels above you is red, and then 5 to 10 is red.
5 to 10 shows you a skull. Gray means you're not going to get any experience for it. Like you're just
gray
stopping
means that enemy is so far below you.
So green
it's not
means
worth
it's
your time.
easy, but you're still going to get XP for it.
You'll get a small
you won't get for gray.
XP.
Yeah, you'll get a fraction of it. Yellow is you get full XP. Orange is you'll get a fraction, and red is you'll get a fraction. And then as you go up, they turn into skulls, into which you just won't have.
You
a
get
chance.
more because with orange and red, do you get more than you would with yellow?
No, you get a fraction. They want you to fight within your level range.
Yeah.
They want you to fight within the yellow, basically.
Yes. 2 levels up, 2 levels below. That's your ideal range in which you want to do quests and kill mobs.
That's interesting because I mean I know some of the games the way they're set up that if you're level 5, we'll say, and you're fighting against a level 8, and you were to beat the level 8 just because you were more skilled and able to beat it, even though it took you a lot longer to beat it. Then it would give you more XP because you fought that higher level. But
not necessarily,
so
because with a system like WoW, you have a cap level, and so if you can outpace things that quickly, once you get towards cap level, you'll be out of things to kill because you've just gotten so much XP that you've jumped up levels. That makes sense so.
Because of that cap level that's there, where the other ones would be like, let's say a regular plot-driven game, single-player game. I'm just trying to move through the plot. And this goes back to not allowing for the frivolous shit to worry about, right?
Yeah. I
can still move and progress through with having somebody that's 2 or 3 above me. It does make those boss fights a little hard, but you can still do it. So it did look like, and this is one of the things too, I want to see what they end up doing with Valhalla, what they end up doing with some type of bosses, because that dude was like, that he's fighting at the end of this trailer is very tank-like.
Yeah,
and I was kind of like, it'd be kind of cool to see that a battle like that with the actual style we're used to, and you know,
I mean, they've
not
done
in
that
an Assassin's Creed game.
Well, they've done that.
Because honestly, up to the very end, I was
games.
fucking.
They've done it in some of the previous.
Yeah,
ones.
where you've got enemies that are markedly bigger than anything else on the field. You know they're gonna be tough because they're like the tanky semi-boss ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see Ubisoft just start making games like minus the Assassin's Creed, just a game called Valhalla. And then have
they tried to make one that
that
was called Skull and Bones. We just talked about that. I mean, they still haven't made it yet. It's
Yeah,
there.
Slap Assassin's Creed on that motherfucker, and they'll create it.
A single player experience, because you go back to Skull and Bones again. They were trying very hard to make a competitor to Sea of Thieves and couldn't keep up with the pace. But if you're talking about just a single player experience that's a story driven game, I really wish that they would be like, this is the Assassin's Creed name at this point just means this is our historical series of games in which you will be surrounded by actual historical places and
but it goes back to the same thing that we've said over and over again about this series. The minute they made it a yearly thing, which now it's every 2 years,
it's still too often.
It's still too often. And
my drive for Assassin's Creed games have never recovered from the annual.
No, and it should have been. It literally should have been. And I've stated this before. They should have done everything like they did Assassin's Creed 2, that entire part of that series. I want to know this entire person's life. You give me this game, and this game. If you want to release those 3 years in a row, fine, but at least I'm following the same person before you give me another plot line, and I've invested my life into them. Which that's what makes Assassin's Creed 2 work. Because when you added, was it Brotherhood and what was the other one? Revelations. When you added those other 2 standalone games to it, it just made it great because I had this entire plot line that was there and it was in the world and I was invested in it. And they could do that with anybody. Could do that with any game. It doesn't have to be an Assassin's Creed game, but give me a trilogy for a person.
Well, I mean, it's just a series because Uncharted was 4 games instead of 3, but you were invested in who Nathan Drake was, which is part of what made that whole series so enjoyable. You weren't jumping between a bunch of different main characters, and you got to see a little bit of their life, and then you go on about your business. Right. But this, it just feels like you're dropping into an after-school special to play for a little while, and then you're on to the next one. It doesn't feel like there's anything that really wants to... That Ubisoft really wants to marry you to this character and have you care about them. Although I will say, I've heard that really a lot of people invested in the main characters of Odyssey. So maybe they're getting back to that. I haven't played Odyssey, so I can't speak to that, and I don't know what that means for this one.
I hope they have.
School bust it.
What?
They magic school bust it. Gonna go back in time to visit.
Yeah.
I hope they have, but the other thing is too, what they got to be careful of is the fact that this game, it's going to be compared to two things. One, every other Assassin's Creed game that started, that's been before it, and two, it's going to be compared to God of War.
Yeah.
So if your plot line's nowhere close to as good as, it doesn't have to be anywhere close to the plot line, but as good as the last God of War game, it's not going to sell well.
And it's also going to be heavily colored by everything that you know about Vikings already, which is, again, one of our main concerns. We know from everything that we've ever learned that Vikings were not really into the sneaky subterfuge side of things. They were into the smashy side of things, so making them assassins seems a little bit of a stretch.
Right.
So, but we'll find out. Holiday 2020. It doesn't have an exact date, but holiday. So sometime between the end of October and Christmas, most likely.
So you'll be able to get it on 4 consoles, assuming all 4 consoles are available around that time.
Yeah.
And PC.
Since the one release date for it has been pulled for the Xbox that they had set up originally. So.
Well, that's a perfect segue into our last article. Microsoft is going to show off Xbox Series X games live stream next week, which I am hoping for a good Fable game. Like, I mean, I could go back and play the original Fable, and I fucking love it. And Fable 2, it's so good. I've played Fable 3, and it's just meh.
I feel like we've talked about this before, but does Fable still belong to Peter Molyneux? Like, does he have to okay things?
I don't think so. Cool. I think Microsoft owns the Fable series.
If I'm not mistaken, it was the Lionhead Studio one, right? And then it got bought by Microsoft. Isn't that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they buy Lionhead?
Yeah, I think so.
They own Lionhead.
Yeah, Microsoft owns the Fable.
Let's find out.
Yeah, and they plan on showing off a bunch of stuff through the summer. All the different games and whatnot. They're going to kind of like spread E3 across the whole summer to keep people hyped up
throughout the rest of the season
until it comes out. I'm super interested to see what they've got for Halo Infinite. I mean, Halo 4 or 5. Has 6 come out, or is Infinite 6?
Infinite is 6.
Okay. Playing through the old Halos has I definitely love that series, and it makes you remember how much you love that series, and then you play it 4 and 5, and you're just kind of like,
oh,
they're okay, but I like them better.
But you asked for them to change like a subtitle thing or something and stop numbering them because they're not part of Master Chief series. You're getting what you want. They called it Halo Infinite, so you're getting at least one thing that you asked for sure.
It has to. Okay, then the title, the Halo Infinite, has to have some reason why it's called Halo Infinite.
Well, because it's
like,
still
are they
going to
find out
universe.
that there are? Well, I know, but what's infinite mean? Like, does that mean that there's an unnumbered amount of Halos? It means that we can make as many of these as we want because we took the number system off. Well, I mean, does it mean that there's an unnumbered amount of Halos in the universe?
Probably.
Wow, that would go against the entire plot line that they had set up originally.
Yeah, probably, but
that's called retconning. You don't know that. You don't remember that.
There were secret Halo installations that were never discussed in any of the paperwork, and nobody ever said anything about them, and they were cloaked and hidden, and that's why we're just now discovering them, and it turns out there's an infinite number of them. Bam, I fixed it for them. Perfect.
Like, I find it ironic that, like, I find it crazy after 4 and 5 we're going back to the Halos. It's like, okay, I mean,
because
Halo 4 story out, finish it up.
Good about the series.
Oh my lord! I just found an article for Chicken on this Fable subject. By the way, it popped up. Games Radar posted on April. It popped it up a minute ago. April the 6th, I think, is what it was.
So about a month ago. this year?
about a month ago. Prepare to return to
Albion.
How you say that? Albion. Thank you. Fable 4 by learning everything we know so far about the rumored title. So right now it looks like 2020 might be when it comes out with this new system.
Holiday.
The people that make Forza is the one that are supposed to be making this game.
So now you'll have to upgrade your dude so that he goes vroom vroom.
So it's gonna be like a Fable racer?
No, it's not going to be a Fable racer. Just because you build, don't.
Let me get
think
that
they
Lotus
just
upgrade.
build that type of game. It's just, but they do know how to optimize. Forza does a really good job of optimizing what Xbox offers. So it would be very interesting to be able to take a company that can optimize that engine and be able to put it on the new Xbox Series X as well as PC.
Look at Fable 1 and look at Fable 2. Look at what worked. Hell, you can even look at Fable 3 if you're desperate enough. But look at the games and see what people loved about that. The customization, the simplification. You had your magic, you had your ranged, and you had your melee. Those are the three solid aspects that you use, that they've always used. You can use them. You don't have to fancy it up or fucking add subcategories to your categories to your other categories. You could just keep it simple. Get certain simple spells. Give a really good story. Make the combat fun. Make sure that you have the alignment system in place so that your character can develop as you want him to.
Or her.
Or her. Them. Whatever they want to be. Or whatever you want them to be, and then make a really good story. And the bounty boards and owning houses.
Fight the antagonist.
Yes. No, we'll skip that part.
No, because if they do the same thing again, I will break the disc.
I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. We really need to see.
That really ticked me off with the third one, where it's like, oh well, you just shoot him. It's like
bang. Yeah, I didn't even finish.
One of the rumors is that the game is likely to be set across multiple planets.
You what, mate?
I mean, you have space travel. Why not use it to go to different places?
Why?
We've done it before. We've just gone to alien ships from a planet. But
why make it so complicated? It's supposed to take place in the world of Albion.
Right.
Oh, sorry,
it's a medieval fantasy world.
Oh, no.
That's multiple planets. I was like, this must be Halo. Clearly we're not traveling planets in stupid Fable.
That's why I was like, Griff, have you ever played Fable?
Yeah, I was like,
no, that's why I thought we were back on a different. I was also reading comments, so I kind of zoned out a little bit. And I heard planets, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Halo, you could space travel. No, Fable, that doesn't make sense. What?
Yeah, but basically, when Phil Spencer was interviewed last year at E3 and asked about Fable, he made the statement that they're not going to announce anything until the team that's behind it feels solid about the announcement.
Hey, that's fine.
I'm cool with that. So we might not get an announcement on it, but it is one of those things that's rumored to be possibility for the new generation. So I'd be cool with it. I think it's great. So, and I did double check. It is owned by Microsoft, and they get to choose which studio does it. So if they suck it up, then they can pass it on to another studio, I guess. I don't know how that works.
If they suck it up, that might kill the series.
It's a possibility. It's almost been killed a few times, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Fable 3, it took a nice hot gunshot right at the chest, and then
didn't they have like a multiplayer one or something they were working on that ended up dying
Fable
too?
Legends or some shit. It was like an RPG card game MOBA thing that they were working on. That blew up, and then they were going to do the card game, which blew up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They've struggled to make the Fable series relevant again. This will be their last attempt. Well, this will be their last chance.
Well, that'll be Thursday when Xbox is live streaming, so we'll find out closer to the end of the week. We have all week to speculate and, make hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams. Popes and seams.
Too funny. Anything else?
That's it for me.
That's all I got too. We do appreciate everybody that hangs out with us each and every week in Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at InfiniteResPC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. Check out Griff.
At Griff Slanum.
Check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken through and three.
Check out Baka.
And Baka Pickup.
Also, make sure you go to Griff's YouTube channel. Pandemic, folks, sit down at YouTube. Just play it in the background. Have a playlist set up with Griff. She's great to listen to. You don't necessarily have to watch what's happening until, she ends up like running over something and you hear her scream or whatever, and then you can figure out what happened afterwards and rewind it a few times and laugh. Put the messages down in the comments. Help her out a little bit. It's great little YouTube channel that she's got there. Make sure that you're helping her out. Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313. Chicken, what you got this week?
Oh, I don't know. We have a contractor coming out at some point this week, so streams are going to be, like the last few weeks, very unstable for a while. Because if they get started, I'm going to lose access to this area at a regular basis. So
yeah, that's why I haven't started new YouTube stuff either, because that'll be all in here.
Yeah, so we'll see.
You're fun.
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Also, make sure you go to mixer.com/MDB Oaktree, where I stream every day of the week except for Wednesdays. We're currently this week, I will be playing through some more probably Animal Crossing, as well as probably some more stuff on the Switch because I'm enjoying streaming the Switch a little bit. Of course, every Friday we have Sea of Thieves, which is fun and entertaining. We have a great time with that. And then on Sundays, we do Stranded Deep with No Pants, where we're actually starting Stranded Deep over again, but this time with mods, so that ought to be fun. So we'll see how that works. While everybody else is playing on their console version, we'll be using the mods because guess what? We're on PC.
Yeah. PC Master Race.
That's right, yo. Whatevs. Anyway.
Hey, don't be a sweaty.
Don't be a sweaty. For Infinite Respawn, I'm Oaktree.
I'm Griff.
I'm Chicken.
Nah, Baka.
See ya.
Bye.